What is up, guys? Fado82 coming at you with a weekly Rust update video. This week in Rust, things are going to look better than ever, and Rust is going to load faster than ever. You can be at the screen to your favorite server in under 10 seconds to the loading screen, and that is absolutely phenomenal. That's due to some entity leaks that were fixed. And when you're running around the landscape in Rust, nodes and trees will be much more plentiful this week in Rust. So that means you can build bigger bases, you'll have access to more nodes, and this is due to a change in the way that the building cupboard radius works. Prior to this, the building cupboard radius actually affected node generation, so rocks and trees wouldn't spawn within that radius. That could lead to an environment that felt very sparse and somewhat like a wasteland. On high population servers, very quickly into the wipe cycle, forests would disappear and the landscape wouldn't feel as varied and dense as it's looking. So due to those changes, I'm noticing that trees are a lot more denser and plentiful, and that really helps to draw out the beauty of Rust. It's a beautiful game, and as you can see, it really adds to the atmosphere when these trees are there. The tension in the forest becomes more claustrophobic when they're denser, and looking at them just really helps the landscape to pop, and things just look a lot better. I think I noticed that the trees were spawning closer to the monuments as well, and due to the fact that those have had restricted radiuses around them, I'm believing that that may have been affected as well. So you might notice that the monuments look a bit cooler, like more overrun temples with more trees around them. Pretty cool stuff. The water looks a hell of a lot better this week in Rust as well, as you can see, and some third-person animations have been updated with regard to some weapons, being the pistol, the shotgun, the AK, and some other items as well. So go ahead and check out the dev blog. You'll notice it as you're playing the game, but you can see this more in depth if you go to playrust.com and check out that dev blog. We saw some more work being done to the way that throwable items will work, weapons specifically, and tools in Rust. Basically, this is going to be you're going to hold down the item and then wait to throw it and be able to aim it a bit easier. We saw some concepts for a progression for player corpses to look as though they're rotting or decaying, and this would be a way for new players to realize that certain areas might be places they don't want to go. As early as next week, we may see two new weapon attachments in Rust. We're going to see a muzzle booster and a muzzle brake. The booster will mitigate muzzle gases, allowing the weapon to cycle faster, which is going to result in a higher rate of fire with less bullet velocity. The brake will essentially be recoil reduction for the item, but there will be an increased cone of fire, so when you're aiming down those iron sights, it'll be easier to stay on target, but your shots might not always land exactly where you want them to be when that attachment is enabled. Alright guys, as we go ahead and wind down the dev blog here, you're going to be looking at some further progression to the dungeon areas in the game, as you're listening to some hauntingly beautiful music by Alex from Face Punch, so go ahead and give him some love in the SoundCloud description below. Also, we took a look at some concepts for a double-barreled shotgun that I really hope makes its way into Rust. I hope it's something like a double-barreled pipe shotty. That's what you're taking a look at right now. These are 4 different concepts. Leave a comment below with which one you think is the coolest or which one you'd like to see in Rust. Some player rations might be washing up on the beach soon, and we also took a look at a shipwreck here, which may be part of the harbor. Fado82, peace.